Well, I picked the wrong practice makes perfect apparently when making videos as well as supersizing and growing your business. Picked the wrong frame. I was trying to hit a different frame and my hand slipped and I hit the wrong one. So this is what we've got today. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect is an idiom that's been around since about 1550, 1560. And it of course means that we get good at something by doing it repeatedly, practicing it over and over again. Now, this was said by John Adams, and it appeared in the Random House Dictionary, and he's attributed to saying it. Not sure if he's probably not the first person that said it, but he's the first person that helped to make it famous. And then, of course, Vince Lombardi put his own little twist in it, the famous coach, if you're from my neck of the woods. He said, perfect practice makes perfect. Practicing the wrong thing will not necessarily give you the perfect results that you're seeking. Think of people that have bad habits, us included. We might have a bad habit. If we practice a bad habit and do it over and over and over again, we'll get really good at it. But is it going to get us the results that we want to get in our life? Probably not. Now, I did learn something new yesterday, and maybe I knew it, but I didn't remember it. That practice, we usually spell practice Practice, at least here in the United States. And practice in that spelling is a noun. To practice as in to do something repetitively or to practice an activity over and over again, the verb is actually spelled with an S, Practise. Now, I will tell you, I always spell practice, no matter whether I mean it as a verb or a noun, with a C. And maybe that's the more common version, but I did learn as part of my looking up the meaning of this idiom that the verb and the noun are actually spelled differently. Now, practicing, what does that have to do with our businesses? Hopefully, we have something that we're known for, something that we're really good at, something that we weren't born knowing how to do, but we've become famous for in our business. You know, they say it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert or to become really skilled at something. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm sure I've spent at least 10,000 hours doing and practicing some of the things that I am now proficient at. Also, proficient and perfect are not the same thing. I think perfect is really subjective. Perfect to you is different than perfect to me. So I think that practice makes perfect is a good alliteration, and that's why the saying catches on. But in some things, we don't need to strive for perfection, right? And there is no such thing as perfection. Perfectly beautiful is different because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's different for each and every one of us. So perfect is something that may or may not even be attainable. But we strive for continuous improvement, always doing things better, always serving our customers better, always becoming a better human being. Think of all the things that you've had to practice. You know, we like to think that some people are just born leaders or born athletes or born artists or born anything. But the truth is, we're not born doing anything or being able to do anything, you know, short of, you know, breathe and eat and sleep and drink and the main survival strategies we have, and everything else we have to learn. We have to learn. I remember it wasn't until I had my kids how much I appreciated the learning process and how people learn and how people learn differently. Watching my kids learn to snowboard, watching my kids, you know, learn to walk, do anything, reminded me of my experiences learning to do things. You know, sometimes once we get good at something, we forget about all the time and energy and practice that we put into doing the thing when we weren't good at it. Guess what? Whenever we start doing something new, we stink at it. I think of everything I've ever started doing, and there's that point at which you start to do something, you want to do it, you want to get a result, you stink at it, but you're like, all right, the only way I'm going to ever get over this hump, and there's a hump at which either we quit, I guess the tipping point would be the most common example, or the most common phraseology for that. There's a point at which we decide we're going to go forward and we're going to figure it out no matter what, or we decide to just let it go. That's kind of the tipping point in anything that we're learning, any new skill, any new habit, any new anything. So yeah, I think about when I learned to drive a car. I remember driver's ed, and I was scared to do this country driving. Out in the country, we had to drive on this curvy road, and I was scared to drive on that road. Now, of course, I did it in front of my driver's ed teacher and my friends, but I was petrified the whole time. And my instructor kept saying, speed up, but I was scared on this curvy, windy road. Well, it turns out years later, of course, my husband and now ex-husband and I built a house right off that curvy road. So every day for, I don't know how many years were we out there, like 15 plus years, I had to drive on that curvy road. And I remember thinking one day and realizing that I had been scared to death to drive on this road, but now I could do it, almost blindfolded, or in the dark, in the dark, of course, because I had done it so many times. I had practiced and I had mastered this road that I used to be afraid of. And that's how we do anything. So the question for you today, and I guess for this year, is what are you practicing in your business? What are you committed to practicing in 2021 to do better, to improve, to be more of for your business? Maybe it's patience, maybe it's kindness, maybe it's leadership, maybe it's continuous improvement. I would love to see you share that in the comments below, what you're committed to practicing. And I'm not going to say making perfect, because I strive for continuous improvement, not perfection personally, because I think that perfection is very elusive and, setting ourselves up for frustration instead of success. Share in the comments below what you're committed to practicing this year. I'll share what I'm going to practice as well. Have an amazing day. I'll be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you use it in your business right now? Take care.